Saved and sleep. Attending church and sleep. Christian and sleep. In the same respect, and with all due disrespect, you and I, we walk into these churches, members and ministers of the merciful, undisciplined disciples of the divine, foolish, fickle friends of a faithful Father, unstable, unmotivated, uninterested, waiting for someone to prepare us, someone to prompt us, someone to awaken us, someone to make us aware and ready us for a battle that maybe we're already in. Because my friend, so on November 15th, 1858, at a music hall in London, Charles Spurgeon delivered a powerful sermon on 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6, and he called it Awake, Awake, where he painted a picture emphasizing in 3 powerful illustrations of the danger and the tragedy of a sleeping Christian. My God. See, he said a city suffering under plague with an official walking the streets crying out, bring out the dead, bring out the dead. All the while, a doctor with the cure in his pocket just sleeps. A passenger ship reels under the storm and is about to crash, bringing near death to almost everyone, while the captain just sleeps. A prisoner in his cell about ready to lead to execution, and his heart is terrified by what would happen to him in death and after death, and all the while a person with the pardon in his pocket listen at So in Galatians 2, 11 through 14, around 48, 49 AD, after Jesus' death, Paul recognizes hypocrisy in Peter. And he corrects him. Yes, he did. And the interesting part about this is that Peter comes into the faith Paul comes into the faith after Peter. Yeah. Peter approves of Paul's ministry, yet it is Paul who rebukes Peter. How? That's right. Because clear-headed seriousness about the things of God have no seniority attached to them. Because if you avail yourself to the Father, He will use you. Then in around 49 to 50 AD, Paul visits Thessalonica in his second missionary journey, and it gets wild out there, y'all. So his advice to them was a mere reminder that judgment is coming, so they better be sober in a drunken world. He had the audacity to tell them, so be on your guard and not asleep like the others. Stay alert and be clear-headed. That was 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. After which I told you, Thessalonica got wild, so Paul had to run up out there. Right? And so in Acts, he headed over to Berea. In Acts 17, 10 through 15, a neighboring city around 50 to 51 AD. And in this city, that's where Christians didn't just take Paul at his word. They confirmed him in the word. Can we land there for a second? Are we still doing that? Or are we asleep? So parenthetically, I have to mention to you that I'm not going to stay here long, that Paul, this was his shortest journey. Why? Simply because the saints were ready to receive him. How different will our services go if only we weren't without a sobering perspective. Paul could have never fulfilled his mission or survived his journey through Thessalonica or recognized the error in Peter's ways, but that is the danger and the tragedy of a sleeping Christian. And in the same respect, and with all due disrespect, you and I, we walk into these churches, members and ministers of the merciful, undisciplined disciples of the divine, foolish, fickle friends of a faithful Father, unstable, unmotivated, uninterested, waiting for someone to prepare us, someone to prompt us, someone to awaken us, someone to make us aware and ready us for a battle that maybe we're already in. Because my friend, sleep. Then in around 62 to 64 AD, Peter realized that he was in fact asleep, saved and sleep, attending church and sleep, Christian and sleep. But he also realized that what his sleeping actually cost him, and he knew he needed to tell us. So in 1 Peter 1:13-16, it says, so prepare your minds for action.
Yeah.
Be completely sober. What does that mean? In spirit, steadfast, self-disciplined, spiritually and morally alert. Fix your hope completely on the grace of
Yes.
God that is coming when Jesus Christ is revealed. Live as obedient children of God. Do not be conformed to the evil desires which governed you in your ignorance before you knew the requirements and transformational power of the good news regarding salvation.
Yes.
Like the Holy One who called you, be holy. Amen. Be holy yourself in your character, in your movement. Courage, you shall be holy, for I am holy. And I admonish you. I admonish you to wake up. I urge you, dear brothers and sisters, to remember that the enemy of ours, if he can't destroy you, he will distract you.
Yeah.
He will keep you complacent. He will keep you callous. He will keep you casual. See, we should be growing. We should be sober. We should be self-controlled. We should be alert. We should be off that milk.
Yeah. Off that
Because within the first 3 months of a baby's life, usually they get between 14 to 17 hours of sleep. Then around 4 to 12 months, they get about 12 to 16 hours of sleep. Then between 1 and 2, it decreases down to about 11 to 14 hours of sleep. So what am I saying? I'm saying that your time for sleeping on the bench with a bottle in your hand, well-balanced and self-disciplined.
Yeah.
Be alert and conscious and cautious at all times. That enemy of yours, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion,
seeking who he can devour. Yeah.
1 Peter 5:8. So it behooves you to wake up.
Yeah.